All right, are you ready? Let's shine a light on Fiem Industries.
A major player in the Indian automotive components market.
You know, every time you see a headlight, a rear view mirror
Yeah.
on a car or motorcycle,
Huh.
there's a good chance Fiem had a hand in making it.
That's right. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
We've got their latest annual report, a transcript from a recent earnings call, even some insights from industry analysts.
It's like we've got an all-access pass to their inner workings.
Exactly.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of Fiem's business model, their growth trajectory,
Yeah, sounds good.
and how they're navigating this crazy, ever-changing automotive landscape.
Which is a very interesting story.
Buckle up. We're going to uncover the strategies behind their impressive performance.
Yeah, their strong position in the Indian automotive market is something that that really stands out.
Okay, let's start with the basics.
Sure.
What exactly does Fiem Industries do?
Well, at their core, they're a manufacturing powerhouse for automotive components with a real focus on lighting and signaling equipment.
So we're talking headlights, taillights, turn signals.
Exactly, all those things that keep us safe and visible on the road. But they don't just stop at bulbs.
Okay.
They also have a significant presence in rear view mirrors, plastic molded parts,
Oh, wow.
and get this, a future-ready division
Okay.
developing cutting-edge tech like laser lighting and sensor-equipped fog lamps.
Wait, hold on. Laser lighting. That
Fog
sounds
lighting.
like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's a testament to their commitment to innovation, staying ahead of the curve.
I like it. Yeah.
But let's zoom in on their primary customer base for a second.
Okay, right. Because a business is only as strong as its customer relationships, right? So who are they working with?
So they mainly work with what are called original equipment manufacturers, or OEMs.
OEMs, okay.
Yeah, these are the big car and motorcycle companies that need parts to build their vehicles.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And I'm guessing, given their presence in India,
Yeah,
the two-wheeler market's a pretty big deal for them.
you guessed it.
Why?
In fact, 99.62%, a staggering amount of their automotive segment revenue in the fiscal year 2024 came from two-wheelers.
Wow, so that's a huge concentration in one segment.
Yeah, it tells you a lot about their market focus.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious about how they fit into, the bigger picture of the Indian automotive industry.
Sure.
Like, what's the sector looking like these days?
So the Indian automotive sector is absolutely booming.
Yeah.
You've got rising incomes, rapid urbanization,
Okay.
a growing desire for personal mobility.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for explosive growth.
So Fiem is perfectly positioned to ride this wave of growth.
Exactly, and they're doing it strategically.
Okay.
The sector saw about 10% year-over-year growth recently,
Wow.
with the two-wheeler segment leading the charge
Cool.
at a whopping 77% of sales volume. So that's right in Fiem's sweet spot.
So they've got a strong foundation, a growing market.
Right.
But the automotive world's changing rapidly, with the rise of electric vehicles. So how is Fiem navigating this transition?
This is where I think their forward-thinking approach really shines.
Yep.
They recognize that their products, lights, mirrors, all that,
Mhm.
are essential for both electric vehicles, EVs, and traditional combustion engine vehicles.
So they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Not at all.
Okay.
They're playing the long game.
Uh-huh.
They're already partnering with almost all the major EV players in India,
Oh, wow.
even though EV volumes are still relatively low.
That's smart, building those relationships and expertise early on.
Exactly.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about competition.
Sure.
Who are they up against in this market?
So the competitive landscape is definitely heating up, especially in the two-wheeler lighting segment. They're facing off against both domestic and international players.
So there's pressure to stay ahead of the curve, especially when it comes to pricing.
Absolutely, but Fiem has a few key advantages up their sleeve.
Okay, like what?
Well, first, they've got strong R&D capabilities and a real commitment to innovation.
Like those laser lights.
Exactly, like those laser lights.
Yeah, it sounds like they're investing in staying ahead of the technology curve.
They are.
What else sets them apart from the competition?
Well, they've got a robust network of strategically located manufacturing facilities
Okay.
spread across India,
Mm-hmm.
9 to be exact.
9. Wow.
And they're strategically positioned near their OEM customers.
So they're keeping it close to the action.
Exact.
That must give them a significant advantage, in terms of cost, efficiency.
Huge advantage. They can deliver those components quickly, keep those production lines humming.
Yeah.
But beyond just, operational efficiency, they also have really deep-rooted relationships with those OEM partners.
Right.
That kind of trust and collaboration is hard to replicate.
So we've got a solid business model. They're in a rapidly growing market. They're well positioned to compete.
Mm-hmm.
But what about their actual performance?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are they doing in the market?
So hold on tight, because they've hit some impressive milestones.
Okay.
In fiscal year 2024, they crossed the Rs 2,000 crore revenue mark.
Okay. That's a pretty impressive number.
It is.
And I bet their growth in that EV two-wheeler segment helps drive those results, right?
You're catching on.
Yeah.
But revenue is only part of the story.
Okay.
Their profitability is equally impressive.
Right.
Their EBITDA and net profit reached new highs.
Oh, wow.
Of Rs 268 crore
Mm-hmm.
and Rs 166 crore, respectively.
So they're not just growing, they're growing profitably.
Exactly. That's the golden ticket.
Yeah. It speaks volumes about their operational excellence and their customer-focused strategies.
Absolutely.
But let's be realistic. Every business faces risks. What are some of the key risk factors they've identified?
So they actually have a very robust risk management framework in place.
Okay.
They're constantly assessing internal and external risks, developing mitigation strategies.
Right.
And they have a dedicated risk management committee providing oversight.
That's reassuring to hear. They're not just hoping for the best.
Right.
They're actively managing potential challenges.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the specific risks that they've highlighted?
Well, like any company in the automotive industry, they're vulnerable to increased competition.
Right.
And pricing pressures.
Yeah.
That's a constant battle in this market.
Makes sense.
Fluctuations in raw material prices can also impact their margins.
Oh, yeah, that's a valid concern, especially with global supply chain dynamics being what they are. Anything else on their radar?
So they're also keeping a close eye on government policies and regulations, especially in the rapidly evolving EV sector, where subsidies and incentives play a crucial role.
Right, because those policies can change so quickly.
Absolutely.
And companies need to be able to adapt on the fly.
Exactly. And finally, they're mindful of the risks associated with their dependence on a few major OEM customers.
Right.
If one of those clients faces difficulties, it could have a ripple effect on Fiem.
So they're walking a bit of a tightrope there?
A little bit, yeah.
But it sounds like they're at least aware of the potential pitfalls and taking steps to mitigate them.
Yes, definitely.
Did their auditors raise any red flags?
That's a great question, and it speaks to the importance of transparency. Their statutory auditor's report actually didn't contain any qualifications, reservations, or adverse remarks, so they got a clean bill of health, so to speak.
Okay, that's reassuring. It sounds like they're on solid footing financially.
It seems so.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about corporate governance. How is Fiem run from the top down?
So they're very committed to strong corporate governance practices.
Okay.
Transparency, accountability, ethical conduct, all at the forefront of their operations.
It's not just about the profit. It's about doing business the right way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who are the key players steering the ship?
So at the helm, we have the chairman and managing director, who has been with the company since 1989.
Wow, that's a long tenure.
It is.
They must have navigated some serious challenges and opportunities over the years.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we have the CEO and director, who brings a wealth of experience from leading positions in major automotive groups since 2001.
Wow, okay.
And actually, they won India's Most Trusted CEO Automotive 2022.
Wow, that's impressive.
Which is a testament to their leadership and vision.
Yeah, it sounds like they've assembled a top-notch leadership team.
They have.
But how do they ensure that checks and balances are in place?
So they have a very robust governance structure with a board of directors, an audit committee, a nomination and remuneration committee, and a CSR committee.
Okay.
All playing vital roles in ensuring good governance and responsible decision-making.
So they're not just relying on one person to call all the shots.
No.
They've got a system in place for accountability and oversight.
Exactly.
That's encouraging. But beyond the boardroom,
what
about sustainability? How is Fiem addressing its its social and environmental responsibilities.
So they're doing some really impressive work in this area,
Okay.
particularly when it comes to women's empowerment.
Oh, wow.
One of their flagship programs focuses on menstrual hygiene management.
Okay.
And they've set up sanitary pad manufacturing units, which not only provide access to essential products, but also create employment opportunities for women.
That's fantastic. It addresses a critical need while also, promoting economic empowerment.
Exactly.
I love that they're taking a holistic approach.
Yes.
Any other examples?
Absolutely. They have another project called Swavlamban,
Okay.
which provides sewing machines and other equipment to help women start their own small businesses.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
They're really going the extra mile to equip women with the tools to build their own futures.
Yes.
It's not just about handouts. It's about, sustainable empowerment.
Right.
But what about their environmental footprint? Are they taking steps to minimize their impact?
They have implemented a range of energy conservation measures across their facilities. We're talking sensor-activated lighting, optimized UPS systems, even air recycling in their hopper dryers.
So they're really squeezing every bit of efficiency out of their operations. That's great to hear. They're not just talking about sustainability.
Right.
They're taking concrete actions to reduce their energy consumption.
Absolutely. And they're going beyond just the technology as well.
Right.
They're really focusing on raising awareness among their employees through training and workshops, promoting a culture of conservation.
So it's a multi-pronged approach, integrating sustainability into their operations and their company culture.
It is.
Now looking ahead, what are the prospects for Fiem's continued growth?
So the future looks incredibly bright, especially given, the positive outlook for the Indian two-wheeler industry.
Okay.
Rising incomes, urbanization, the shift to personal mobility.
Right. All those factors we discussed earlier.
Exactly. It's creating a really fertile ground for their expansion.
So they're riding a wave that shows no signs of slowing down.
That's right.
But are they making the necessary investments to capitalize on this opportunity?
Absolutely. They're not resting on their laurels. They're continuing to invest in R&D facilities, not just in India, but in Italy and Japan as well, to ensure they stay at the forefront of technology and meet evolving customer demands.
That's crucial in such a dynamic industry.
It is.
They need to constantly innovate to stay ahead of the competition.
Right.
What about their recent performance? Are those investments translating into tangible results?
So their latest quarterly results are nothing short of spectacular.
Okay.
They achieved a record-breaking 20% year-over-year sales growth.
Wow.
Along with a 19% increase in net profit.
Those are some seriously impressive numbers.
Yeah.
It's clear that their strategies are paying off.
Yeah, it seems so.
But even with all this positive momentum, I imagine there's still some challenges they need to address.
Oh, of course. Even the most successful companies face headwinds.
Right.
One area they're navigating carefully is the EV transition.
While they're well-positioned to capitalize on this trend, the EV market is still evolving.
Right.
And adoption rates have been a bit slower than some anticipated.
Right. So there's still some uncertainty about how quickly the market will shift.
A little bit.
But it sounds like they're flexible enough to adapt to whatever comes their way.
I think so.
They're actively engaging with all the major EV players in India.
Yeah.
And developing products specifically tailored to those unique requirements.
Exactly.
So they're not shying away from the challenge.
Not at all.
They're embracing it head on and positioning themselves for success.
Yeah.
In this evolving market, it's really remarkable to see how they're balancing their core business with their investments in the future.
It is. It's a testament to their strategic vision and their ability to execute their plans effectively.
But let's not forget, the automotive industry is a global game.
What are some of the external factors that could impact Fiem's trajectory going forward?
Yeah, that's a great point. They don't operate in a vacuum, so.
What are some of the global trends they're keeping an eye on?
I mean, the global economic outlook is definitely a factor.
Okay.
Economic growth, or lack thereof, in major markets around the world can have a significant impact on consumer demand for automobiles.
Yeah.
which in turn affects Fiem's business.
Right. It's all interconnected, so they're keeping a close eye on those macroeconomic trends. What else?
They're also paying close attention to the regulatory landscape.
Okay.
Governments around the world are increasingly focused on reducing emissions and promoting electric vehicles. And those policies can create both opportunities and challenges.
Absolutely. They need to be able to adapt to those shifting regulations.
Right.
And capitalize on the growing EV market.
Exactly.
It's a balancing act.
And they can't ignore technological advancements.
Right.
The automotive industry is constantly innovating. And Fiem needs to stay ahead of the curve.
They can't afford to fall behind on those technological advancements.
And finally, they're mindful of geopolitical events.
Oh, okay.
Global conflicts, trade wars, other disruptions, that can have a significant impact on supply chains and the overall business environment.
So they're monitoring those geopolitical risks and developing contingency plans.
Yeah, just in case.
It's about being prepared for the unexpected and being able to adapt quickly to changing circumstances.
Well, it sounds like they've got their work cut out for them, but based on what we've seen today, they seem up to the challenge.
I think so too.
But let's zoom back in for a moment.
We've talked a lot about the external factors, but what about their internal strengths? What really sets them apart from the competition?
Right.
What do you think are their key differentiators?
Well, their commitment to innovation is certainly a major factor. Okay. They're not afraid to push the boundaries and invest in cutting-edge technologies.
Like those laser lights.
Like the laser lights we were talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
And that innovative spirit extends beyond just products. They're constantly looking for ways to improve their manufacturing processes, optimize their supply chain, enhance their customer relationships.
It's that relentless pursuit of excellence that sets them apart.
Absolutely.
They're not content with simply being good.
Right.
They want to be the best.
They want to be the best, and their dedication to sustainability is another, I think, key differentiator.
Okay.
It's not just about ticking boxes for them. Yeah. It's about genuinely making a positive impact. Yeah.
On society and the environment.
Their initiatives to empower women and reduce their environmental footprint are truly commendable.
Yeah.
It shows they're thinking long term and considering the broader implications of their business decisions.
Absolutely. And let's not forget their robust risk management framework.
Right.
They're not just hoping for the best.
Yeah.
They're actively identifying and mitigating potential challenges.
Yeah.
That kind of proactive approach is essential for navigating the complexities of the global automotive industry.
It's not just about, riding the waves. It's about being prepared for the storms that inevitably arise.
Exactly.
It sounds like they have a good handle on that.
I think they do.
And their strong corporate governance practices, coupled with their experienced and visionary leadership team, provide a solid foundation for their continued success. Like they've built a well-oiled machine
with all the parts working in harmony.
It seems that way.
But even with the best laid plans, there are always unknowns.
Of course.
What are some of the wild card factors that could impact their future?
Well, the pace of EV adoption is still a bit of a mystery.
Okay.
While they're well positioned to capitalize on this trend, the speed at which the market shifts will definitely play a role in their growth trajectory.
Right. It's a bit of a waiting game, but it sounds like they're flexible enough to adapt to whatever comes their way.
I think so.
Any other potential disruptors on the horizon?
I mean, the emergence of new technologies, particularly in the realm of autonomous driving and connected vehicles, could create both opportunities and challenges.
It's like a whole new frontier is opening up in the automotive industry.
It is.
It'll be fascinating to see how Fiem navigates this uncharted territory. They've certainly proven that they're up for a challenge.
They have.
And I think their commitment to innovation and their willingness to embrace change will serve them well in the years to come.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been an illuminating deep dive into the world of Fiem Industries.
It has.
We've explored their business model, their growth strategies, their commitment to sustainability, even their risk management practices.
It's a company with a compelling story.
It is.
And it's clear that they're playing a pivotal role in shaping the future of the Indian automotive industry.
Absolutely. They're a shining example of what can be achieved with, vision, strategic execution, a dedication to excellence.
I agree.
But what's the one big takeaway you want our listener to walk away with today?
I think the key takeaway is that Fiem Industries is a company that's not afraid to embrace change. They're constantly evolving, adapting, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that's a lesson we can all apply to our own, lives and careers.
Beautifully said. In a world that's constantly changing, the ability to adapt and innovate is more important than ever.
Absolutely. And Fiem Industries is a shining example of how to do it right.
Well, on that inspiring note, a huge thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
You're welcome.
Into Fiem Industries. We hope you're walking away feeling informed, energized, and maybe even a little bit challenged to embrace change in your own life.
Until next time, keep those headlights on.
Keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
And keep shining bright.
Shining bright.
They're not just hoping for the best. They're actively identifying and mitigating potential challenges that proactive approach is essential for navigating this crazy, complex, global automotive industry.
You're right. It's not just about riding the wave. It's about being prepared for those storms that inevitably arise. And, their strong corporate governance practices, coupled with their experienced and visionary leadership team, provide a really solid foundation for their continued success.
It's like they've built a well-oiled machine. All the parts working in harmony.
It seems that way.
But even with the best laid plans, there are always unknowns.
Of course.
What are some of the wild card factors that could impact their future?
Well, I mean, the pace of EV adoption is still a bit of a mystery. While they're well positioned to capitalize on this trend, the speed at which the market shifts will definitely play a role in their growth trajectory.
Right. It's a bit of a waiting game.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they're flexible enough to adapt to whatever comes their way.
I think so.
Any other potential disruptors on the horizon?
I mean, the emergence of new technologies, particularly in the realm of autonomous driving and connected vehicles, could create both opportunities and challenges.
It's like a whole new frontier is opening up in the automotive industry.
Yes, it is.
It'll be fascinating to see how Fiem navigates this uncharted territory.
I agree.
They've certainly proven they're up for a challenge.
They have.
And I think their commitment to innovation and their willingness to embrace change will serve them well in the years to come.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been an illuminating deep dive into the world of Fiem Industries.
It has.
We've explored their business model, their growth strategies, their commitment to sustainability, even their risk management practices.
Yeah, it's a company with a compelling story.
It is.
And it's clear that they're playing a pivotal role in shaping the future of the Indian automotive industry.
Oh, absolutely. They're a shining example of what can be achieved with, visions, strategic execution, and dedication to excellence.
I agree.
But what's the one big takeaway you want our listener to walk away with today?
I think the key takeaway is that Fiem Industries is a company that's not afraid to embrace change. They're constantly evolving, adapting, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that's a lesson I think we can all apply to our own lives and careers.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
In a world that's constantly changing, the ability to adapt and innovate is more important than ever.
Absolutely. And Fiem Industries is a shining example of how to do it right.
Well, on that inspiring note, a huge thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Fiem Industries.
You're welcome.
We hope you're walking away feeling informed, energized, and maybe even a little bit challenged to embrace change in your own life.
Until next time, keep those headlights on.
Keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
And keep shining bright.
Shine bright.
Yeah, their commitment to innovation is certainly a major factor.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to push the boundaries and invest in cutting-edge technologies.
Like those laser lights.
Like those laser lights we talked about earlier.
Exactly. Yes. And that innovative spirit, I think, extends beyond just, products. They're constantly looking for ways to, improve their manufacturing processes, optimize their supply chain, enhance their customer relationships.
It's that relentless pursuit of excellence that sets them apart. They're not content with simply being, good. They want to be the best.
They want to be the best. And their dedication to sustainability, I think, is another key differentiator. It's not just about ticking boxes. It's about, genuinely making a positive impact on society and the environment.
Yeah, their initiatives to empower women and reduce their environmental footprint are truly commendable.
They are.
It shows their thinking, long-term and considering the broader implications of their business decisions.
Absolutely. And let's not forget their robust risk management framework.
Right.
They're not just hoping for the best.
Right, yeah.
They're actively identifying and mitigating potential challenges.
Right.
That kind of proactive approach is essential for navigating the complexities of the global automotive industry.
It's not just about riding the wave. It's about being prepared for those storms that inevitably come up.
Exactly.
Yeah. It sounds like they have a good handle on that.
I think they do.
And their strong corporate governance practices, coupled with their experienced and visionary leadership team, provide a solid foundation for their continued success.
They do.
It's like they've built a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
With all the parts working in harmony.
It seems that way.
But even with the best laid plans,
of course,
there are always unknowns.
Always unknowns, yeah.
What are some of the wild card factors that could impact their future?
Well, I mean, the pace of EV adoption is still a bit of a mystery. While they're well positioned to capitalize on this trend, the speed at which the market shifts will definitely play a role in their growth trajectory. Right.
So it's a bit of a waiting game.
It is a little bit, yeah.
But it sounds like they're flexible enough to adapt to whatever comes their way.
I think so.
Any other potential disruptors on the horizon?
I mean, the emergence of new technologies, particularly in the realm of, autonomous driving and connected vehicles, could create, both opportunities and challenges for them.
It's like a whole new frontier is opening up in the automotive industry.
It is, yeah.
It'll be fascinating to see how Fiem navigates this uncharted territory.
It will.
They've certainly proven that they're up for a challenge.
They have, and I think their commitment to innovation and their willingness to embrace change will serve them well in the years to come.
Well, it's been an illuminating deep dive into the world of Fiem Industries.
It has.
We've explored their business model, their growth strategies, their commitment to sustainability. Their risk management practices. It's a company with a compelling story, and it's clear that they're playing a pivotal role.
They are.
In shaping the future of the Indian automotive industry.
Right.
They're a shining example of what can be achieved with vision, strategic execution, and a dedication to excellence.
I agree.
But what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with today?
Well, I think the key takeaway is Fiem Industries is a company that is not afraid to embrace change.
Okay.
They're constantly evolving, they're adapting, they're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that's a lesson that, we can all apply to our own lives and careers.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
In a world that's constantly changing, the ability to adapt and innovate is more important than ever.
Absolutely. And Fiem Industries is a shining example of how to do it right.
Well, on that inspiring note, a huge thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Fiem Industries.
You're very welcome.
We hope you're walking away feeling informed, energized, and maybe even a little bit challenged to embrace change in your own life.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep those headlights on, keep exploring, and keep shining bright.